Hello and a very warm welcome to Weekly Current Affairs. My name is Madhusudan Reddy. Today is Saturday and we'll be taking up the miscellaneous components of current affairs that have been figured out in various newspapers in the past 1 week. As you all know, this is one such series where we take up the current affairs from Monday to Saturday. Various subjects are dealt in on each day. Right. So let us quickly get into the topics of today's current affairs. Number one, we are going to take up the coal shortage issue which is currently in news, and the second one is about the Pokkali rice which has been figured out in Hindu newspaper, and the third one is regarding the Green City Awards. ये coal shortage अभी कोई नई बात नहीं है, काफ़ी टाइम पुराना चीज़ है. Last year October also we were facing the same issues of the coal shortage, and now again the coal has been in news for various reasons. First, let us see how exactly the coal has figured out into news. Number one, see, this is a down-to-earth article which talks about net zero by 2070. India still has 99 coal projects in pipeline. This is the first article. Second article, this is a Hindu newspaper published article regarding coal. It says, India's coal mines are severely underutilized amid push for new ones. There is a report that has come up, that is Global Energy Monitoring Report, and also this is little more old article, maybe couple of months back there was also regarding coal issues. Let's see what this article says. It says, can climate change be solved by pricing carbon? Now see, these are three different articles. Now one is talking about net zero emissions, the other one is talking about हम coal जो है already underutilized कर रहा है, and the other article it is talking about can we solve the problem of climate change by pricing the carbon. So this is a multi-dimensional aspect issue. Now this issue needs so much of understanding in terms of basic. So let us deal with this article in very detail, and I will be trying to explain from the basics itself. So firstly, आज की करंट अफेयर्स में क्या है कोल के रिगार्डिंग. नंबर वन, पिछले कुछ टाइम पे 99 न्यू कोल माइंस हैव बीन इशूड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. सो 99 न्यू कोल माइंस, दैट इज वेरी लार्ज नंबर, एंड गवर्नमेंट सेज दैट it can improve around 427 million tons per annum capacity of coal generation in India, right? And when these coal generation are going to take place, there is going to be relocation of few villagers, and especially around 165 villages, around 85,000 odd people are going to be displaced. And it says that already we have some coal which is in pockets जहाँ पे underutilized coal है. हम instead of utilizing this, why are we going for new coal mines? This is another question which has been asked. Now there is a controversy, or you can also say criticism. Whenever you are going to issue a new coal mines, it doesn't mean that the capacity of the power will be met, right? And it also says that the new coal mines will increase water demand. मतलब पानी का इस्तेमाल भी ज़्यादा करना होगा. ये again this is an environmental challenge. And all in all new mines raise ecological issues for wildlife, especially elephants and tigers. These are the issues which are in news. So we'll be detailing and discussing this in detail. Before that, let's get into some facts and some basics regarding coal, and I'll be giving you a holistic picture here. Firstly, see, coal, it is India mein, it is second largest importer of coal in the world, right? And in the last time, if you have come across maybe 4-5 months earlier, India was using the entire wagons, around 1 lakh wagons they have been using to transport the coal, additional wagons. And also the demand for coal has increased. On the other side, if you see, the rise in demand price fluctuations को भी लेके आया था. ये काफ़ी economic issue है, social issue है, and also there's much issues which are going around. So firstly, once try to understand the importance of coal for today's generation, or the current set of scenario India is in. See, coal in India, if you look into, is very important for the power sector. Now the data which I am going to show here is directly from the Ministry of Power, and it has been updated on 1910, just a couple of days back itself it has been updated. So it says that the total amount of power generated in India, it is owned by 50% is owned by private sector, and state sector, central sector. And within this, if the government is owning, central sector is owning somewhere around 24.3%. State sector owns near about 25.7%. But private sector is owning near about 50% power in India, right? Now you might be thinking, coal का crisis और power की crisis के साथ क्या linkage है? Let me try to link up this. See, out of the total power generated in India, coal accounts in the fossil fuel category 50%. That means thermal power plants जो है 50% of the coal is being used there. ठीक है? And other forms of power which is generated is lignite के साथ भी है, gas के साथ भी है, diesel के साथ भी है, but their contribution is very minimal, एक 5% 6% like that, but coal is accounting for 50% of the total power that is generated in India in terms of its fossil fuels. And when you look into the non-fossil fuels category, highest contributions is given by, you can see the data here, it is near about 29% by wind, solar and other renewable energies. And many times students ask that, so what is the contribution of nuclear energy to the power? See, it is very less. It's a single digit contribution which nuclear power is giving. Mostly, if you look into the entire data here, wind is generating 10%, solar power is generating 15 odd percent, and also waste to energy, small hydropower, which we talk about clean energy, very advanced energies, their contribution is very minimal. But look here, coal accounts for almost 50%. So if there is shortage in the coal, directly or indirectly, it will get to the shortage of power sector. And you know, this is November, is yet to come, Diwali time, and post Diwali the consumption of power in India goes little down. Now the government of India thinks that this is the right time to increase the production on one end, so that by the time of June, July, August and also May time pe, when the power sector is at its peak utilization, by then we should be producing more amount of coal. Right, this is what the plan of government. So in order to meet with that, the demand and supply issue, what the government has done is, now it has allocated 99 new lease projects which are been allotted. And one more factual content, see here, these are the areas where preliminary questions can be trapped, mains questions can be asked. See, one fundamental aspects, since the 2010 onwards, the power sector in India is continuously producing more amount of power, and the demand, जितने demand है उसके हिसाब से production भी चल रहे हैं. You see, the total generation since 2010 से लेकर near about 2020 तक almost it has 80% rise है. ठीक है, the power that we are using in 2010 almost doubled, near about doubled. Today the total power generation in India is 1491 billion units. But look into the growth rate. When you look into the growth rate goes like this. 1 year the growth rate is high, it falls, high, it falls. But look at the years in 2019 and 20, the growth rate of power here. The growth rate of power drastically dropped. So, and the very next year, this is 21 and 22, the current time period, the growth rate is again increased. That means the power generation capacity we have increased. And also, why is the growth rate of this power dropped in these times? It is because of COVID. COVID time pe, everyone was inside the home and the industries were set. The power sector was not utilizing much of its power. The coal that has been utilized was less. It was being in the dumping areas, as well as the coal is not much utilized. So the mining capacity has come down, and to that rains in the northeastern region. So in the months of October and November, the coal production units will be less. Why? You'll understand in some time why October, November, December and January, where the northeast monsoons will reduce the generation of coal capacity. Why? I'll be answering it in just a couple of minutes. Now let us see linkage here. The questions can be asked here. In spite of immense growth rate in the last couple of years, power sector, the consumption of power has also increased. At the same time, the capacity generation has been dropped. Why? These are the areas where the mains questions can be asked. So before all of this, which I get into the detailed list of the current affairs, first you need to have a basic idea regarding the coal. देखो coal 4 type की मिलता है. First one is lignite, peat, bituminous and anthracite. See, all these coal types, there are 4 different types of coals, and 4 different types of coals are available in India. But all 4 types of coal cannot be utilized for the power generation. In India, the power generation is mostly done through the bituminous coal. ठीक है, India में anthracite coal काफी कम है. The best quality of coal is your anthracite, and the least quality of coal comes from peat. You also need to understand the development of the coal. See, the quality of coal is dependent upon the quantity of its carbon. ठीक है, so first suppose you take anthracite. This is your anthracite coal. This anthracite coal, you take 1 kg of anthracite coal and starts to burn. It will give more amount of heat but will burn in very less time period. Now the very next little lower grade coal, that is bituminous coal, it is also called as soft coal. You take again 1 kg of coal and you start to burn this coal. You will understand that it will not give the same amount of heat this anthracite coal gave. but it will give less amount of heat but will burn for longer duration. The next type of coal is lignite coal. In this lignite coal is also called as brown coal, जिनके अंदर sulfur content ज़्यादा है and also sulfur content is low and also limited supplies in moist areas. Most areas में काफ़ी limited है. So again you take 1 kg of coal, this will burn for longer duration but the heat that it gives is very less and also sulfur content is low. So whenever the sulfur content is low, that quantity of coal can be seen as sometimes a good quality and sometimes a bad quality, but the content of carbon is something which is deciding the coal quality. And lastly, the cheapest quality of coal is peat coal. Peat coal is also not considered as a coal here, and it is a partially decayed plant matter in swamps, bogs, low heat. At the end, this peat coal itself will turn into a hard coal in the further time period. And you should also know that coal in India and elsewhere is a sedimentary rock. And there are some controversies regarding anthracite coal जो है, it is a metamorphic rock. ठीक है, geologically it is a metamorphic rock, but we still see it as a sedimentary aspects which are collectively converted into a metamorphic aspect, right? Now see, these are 4 different types of coal, but we should also look into where exactly these coal types are present. Firstly, the bituminous coal is present in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and some parts of the Madhya Pradesh as well. And this is the most widely available coal in India. ठीक है, and next to that anthracite coal जो है, this is the finest quality of coal which is having 80 to 95% of the carbon, and this coal is available in Jammu and Kashmir. काफ़ी कम coal available है, right? And lastly, lignite, इनके अंदर 40 to 50% of carbon है. It is available in Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and some areas of the Lakhimpur, that is Assam as well. And lastly, peat coal, we don't use it for industrial grade, so it is not much of important for us. So here we need to concentrate on these 2 power generating sources as coal. Firstly, anthracite coal, it is not used for thermal power generation because one, the availability of coal in India is less, and secondly, even if it is available, it can't be utilized for generating of the power क्योंकि कम टाइम में काफ़ी ज़्यादा हीट देकर वो खत्म हो जाती है. So that's why we always go for bituminous coal, which is also used in power generation. It is also used in your coal, in your iron and steel industries and also brick manufacturing units. These are the coals that will be used. So and most of the coals, if you see in India, they are available in the northeastern region and in the eastern part and some parts of the Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Andhra Telangana as well. And the topmost area, whatever you're seeing, this is your anthracite coal. Tamil Nadu mein lignite type of coal is there. Now see, if at all the coal mines need to be allocated, the coal mines obviously will be allocated in these areas itself, right? And look, these are also the areas where the tribal population is very extreme. Most of the tribal population resides in the forest areas and coal is also present in the forest areas. Now the central government of India has given 99 new coal mines allocation, right? So because of that, people who are living in this area, obviously tribal population whose population is the displacement in today's time is going to be 85,000 odd families are going to get displaced. Out of this, 50% will be your tribes. Okay. Now the question here is, by allocating this 99 new coal mines, can we meet the demand of the power sector in India today? The answer is, of course, yes. But at the same time, the criticism here is that instead of giving these 99 new lease mines, why can't you go and utilize the power sector? Why can't you go and utilize the coal sector which are already being underutilized? It is said that near about 36% of the total coal in India is underutilized. Okay. 36% of coal in India is underutilized. Why is this? It is because coal scam में फंस गया था ये. ठीक है. When the coal scam that has been happened, the coal scam judgment is not given. So because of this, all these areas are not being explored. They are kept the way it is. Instead of you going and exploring this, which will almost give an equivalent amount of 400 odd million tons per year, which these 99 new power plants which are also going to give that 400 odd million tons per year. Instead of you giving this and displacing the people of tribes, why can't you allocate this and start to generate the power there. So this is what the criticism. And also the other reason for coal shortage here is that, see, there was a war that was going on, and it is between Russia and Ukraine. Here Russia has one of the highest billion tons of the coal reserves. So earlier Russia used to import, export, import chalta tha, but export import has been stopped. So the highest coal reserves is also with US, but US is one such nation which always uses the coal from other areas. So इसीलिए Russia was one of the exporter to the rest of the world, but today the export and import has been stopped with Russia. So that's why the coal crisis is also there even in India as well, right? Now let's go back and try to understand little more nuances about this coal mines. And see, ये जो map आपको देख रहे हो, this is the same map where 77% of the capacity of 99 planned coal mines which are allocated newly, it is concentrated here. So if it is concentrated here you need to understand, and this is also the area of tribal people, right? Now this is what the ongoing issue is. So here the issues of development versus livelihood. So this can be the area where we can look out for mains examination. And also the other controversy which is in news is regarding the captive mines. पहले हम captive mines क्या है ये देख लेते, and regarding that there is also a policy reformation which has been trying to be bought into. Now it says that policy reforms in the mineral sector, they say that remove the distinction between captive mines and non-captive mines. So firstly, let us try to understand what is a captive mine and what is a non-captive mine. See, captive mine is, for suppose, imagine you are a company and your company uses coal on a regular basis. For example, Power Corporation of India is there. So for Power Corporation of India to buy coal, every time it has to ask Coal India, give me the coal. So instead of that, the government has also given a provision where the coal mines will be directly allocated to the Power Corporation of India, where you can go and start to extract on your own. Okay, these are called as captive mines, and those mines will only be with the Power Corporation of India, only they can go and explore that. Okay, maybe you are Reliance Ambani and you wanted to have your own coal plant and you wanted to utilize that coal only for yourself. That means these captive mines are only kept with those people. And you know, private sector in India is having near about 50% of the total power generation, and they are the ones who are also owning most of the coal fields. Of course, that is one of the finest way, but the government is trying to bring a reform into these areas. The reform says that under the Atmanirbhar program, it said that remove distinction between captive mines and non-captive mines to allow transfer of mining leases and sale of surplus unused minerals, leading to be better efficiency in mining and production. Now here you have to understand that coal is also one of the resource to India, so coal also falls under this category. So because of which the captive mines concept is sooner or later going to be dead. Now all of this, you also need to understand the concept of the power and the relation between climate change. Okay? The relationship between power and climate change is that India in the 2021, India went to the Glasgow and said that we are going to go for a Panchatantra program, in which Panchatantra program we are going to go for net zero by 2070. So if you are going to add 99 new coal mines, that means you are cutting down the forest and you are generating so much amount of carbon into the atmosphere. How come you are going to meet the same targets? And also 2070 is a long time, leave it. The climate criticizers says that Indic goals which are going to be there in 2030 itself, how are you going to meet, where you have given a particular promise that by the year 2030 I am going to sink 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide. That means you can do it only by converting the energy sources which are non-renewable into renewable. So here it is said that the criticism is we are going to fail on this, right? And second one, we already talked about the underutilization, near about 36% of underutilization is there, and this 36% of underutilization, instead what you can do is, instead of giving new lease mines, why can't you go and use that shortage and convert into an asset? That means the burden can now be converted into an asset. Think in these lines. This is another criticism. And Of course, the power consumption is going to be in the future also, it is going to increase. In the last decade, we have almost doubled, and it is estimating that in the next coming few years, by the 2030, the power consumption is going to be around 2500 billion units. So currently our production is 1400 odd billion units. So to meet those demands, the government says that we definitely need new coal mines. Okay? And that new coal mines is giving around 430 odd million tons per annum. So that is the additional capacity which is going to give. So on the other side, the point is very much valid from the government side as well. And you also know new allocation ho gaya, 99 coal mines done. The captive mines concept also I have given you a brief understanding. And once let us also look into the Coal India. What is the functions of the Coal India here? See, Coal India is the nodal agency where the coal will be extracted and that coal will be given to the industries. Now every industry has to keep certain amount of coal with them. That certain amount of coal is nothing but their reserves. For industrial standards, they at least need to have a reserve for 7 to 15 days of reserve on a minimum note. But today that is not met at the rate of production which we are doing the coal. So here the functioning of the Coal India also need to be increased. Efficiency of Coal India need to be increased. The captive mines reforms need to be brought in. Means the captive mine should no longer be a differentiation that a captive mine, a non-captive mine. Of course, the coal need to be extracted at a faster rate, and we also need to meet the demand of the climate, and a sustainable development model is what we have to require. And the other way around, coal scam. The solution to the coal shortage can come from the coal scam itself. जो भी coal scam हुआ, learning from the past and taking that past experiences, and we have to go further by taking up the new innovative technologies in terms of allocation, right? And of course, what is left behind, that also need to be cleaned behind, right? So that the further generations can look out for the better allocations, right? And nextly, your area of relocation of tribes. Here the LAR bill, land acquisition, rehabilitation and resettlement, this bill need to be effectively implemented. And plus, of course, at the end, any project development of a major level, the displacement is quite common. Now the promise of advance relocation or advance payments to the tribal people is one such thing. Instead, not just replacement or relocation, what you have to do is, we have to replace them, reallocate them and resettle them. This is the solution which is going to be the best possible way in which we can move ahead, right? So all in all, this is your coal article, and from the mains perspective, even we take into the multidimensional aspects, our problem solving capacity in terms of this coal question will be well, right? Now let us quickly move into the next article. The next article talks about the Hyderabad as a city has got its new award. What is its award? See, Hyderabad recently एक award जीत गया था, that is World Green City Award at South Korea. So is it a big news? Yes, of course it's a big news. Why? Because a Green City Award is a prestigious award in terms of environment. So prelims के लिए एक काफ़ी important area भी बन जाता है. For that we should first understand little more background. And last year, if you understand that for the 2 consecutive years, the city of Hyderabad has won the Green City Award or the Tree City Award. Now what is this Tree City and how come we got this Green City? Let us try to understand. पहले Tree City मतलब कोई ऐसे ही कुछ conditions है, and presently Hyderabad city second consecutive year already it has been recognized as a Tree City. Now in the current context, the same city has also got the Green City Award in the year 2022. Now there is an interlinkage, and also there are certain projects in Hyderabad that has been given this award to. Firstly, Hyderabad के साथ कुछ और भी cities compete किया था. These cities are Paris भी है, Mexico भी है, Montreal भी है, and Bogota and Fortaleza. So out of all these cities, Hyderabad is the one which got its award. Now let's see what exactly they have done. See, the Green City Award is one such award which is given every year, and Hyderabad India में पहली बार ऐसे कुछ जीत गया था. Now what is the significance of this award? See, this award is given to those cities where they take environment and also the economic aspects in tandem with them. Now look, they got this award for development of the outer ring road of the Hyderabad city. The outer ring road of Hyderabad city is a green road. Now what do you mean by this green road? See, green roads are nothing but where the concentration of greenery is more, and also the maintenance is done with the help of the public, right? And it is They got this award in the category of living green for economic recovery and inclusive growth. They say that living green for economic recovery and inclusive growth. The greening of the outer ring road is the reason why they got this. See, in this project, firstly you have to understand the examples of the living city which are also called as green cities. लास्ट ईयर कुछ ऐसी डेवलपमेंट्स हुआ था हैदराबाद में जहाँ पे ओनर्स ऑफ प्लांटिंग ए ट्री एंड ओनर्स ऑल्सो टेक केयरिंग ऑफ ए ट्री is given to the citizens rather than the municipal corporation. Of course, municipal corporation comes and plants the tree, but now the duty of the owners to take care of the tree is being given to the public. And this is not just being told verbally. What they have done is they have given it in a written format. That means if you do not take care of the tree, the local panchayat or the local person will be punished. So this is what something unique. You bring up laws, you talk about so much, but when you put into paper, that is when the actions take into account. So for these things, the living green city has been given, and also the green city of Hyderabad has been talked into. Now see, what are the reasons or what are the standards for the green city award? Okay. Firstly, see here, this is an old article, but consider this as a revision here. Firstly, you see, establishment of responsibility means you start to plant a tree and that plant will be given the responsibility to the citizen or a public, and if the tree dies off or it is being cut, this person will be punished or the municipal corporation will be punished, right? And they have also set the rules. What do you mean by setting the rules? These rules are set every now and then. They say that law or an official policy will also be given. And third one, know what you have. They say that the third core standard is to updated inventory and assessment. They keep on assessing the inventory, मतलब कितने पेड़ है, कितने plants है, what is the standard that they are, what is the trunk size, what is the cutoff size, all these things, and they also take into long-term effects. So this is one such area also. And the last one, the fourth one is allocate the resources. Allocating the resources means a dedicated annual budget भी होना चाहिए, for which you have to take care of those plants. And lastly, celebrate the achievements. When you start to celebrate the achievements, that is when the citizens get the enthusiasm, and overall you will get to have that connectivity between environment and you. So these are some things which the city of Hyderabad in a unique manner it has taken up. So that's one of the reason last year Tree City mila tha, and now the Greenery Award for Hyderabad because of the outer ring road. So this becomes very important for examination ताकि prelims में पूछा जा सकते हैं. And lastly, the last article is regarding the पोक्कली राइस. पोक्कली राइस आज कल का हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर में था. दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पोक्कली राइस सिग्निफिकेंस इज गेटिंग डाउन. And see, firstly try to understand what is pokkali rice. Pokkali rice is one such rice where the rice is cultivated in the saline salt water, and also it is cultivated along with prawns. So a prawn rice cultivation भी कहाँ जाता है, and also in the same field prawns are being grown, rice is being grown, and water in that rice field is near about up till the belt size. So 2 to 3 feet का water होंगे, and in that fishes भी होंगे. Now what is the symbiotic relationship between the rice and the prawns here? See, this is a naturally organic grown plant or crop where it is grown seasonally. So in those waters, the backwaters that comes from the sea, they are being stored into the local area, and then the prawn cultivation will be taken for some time. After that, the prawns will start to give their excreta. Now you start to grow the rice plantations. Now this rice, it is a salt tolerant plant which is having very economic value, and also it has a value in terms of calorie as well. Good protein source भी है. एक नेचुरल न्यूट्रिएंट्स के साथ जो एक्सक्रीटा ऑफ प्रॉन्स है, उनकी एक्सक्रीटा से द राइस स्टार्ट्स टू ग्रो. सो ओवरऑल इट इज एन ऑर्गेनिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ए क्रॉप. सो ओवर अ पीरियड इट इज सेड दैट द हार्वेस्टिंग ऑफ द सॉल्ट टॉलरेंट प्लांट्स एट द पोक्कली पैडी, ओवर अ पीरियड द यील्ड हैज कम डाउन. ठीक है, व्हाई द यील्ड हैज कम डाउन? One reason, it is because of extreme events over a period of time. Other reasons are that the community that is used to live upon this pokkali paddy, over a period they lost their daily livelihoods. So because of that, they are not able to get into this daily activity of cultivation of rice. So that is the reason why it is in news, and I have given you some points on the screen here why this is important. And see, it is an organic plant. I have already told you. It is also a salt tolerant plant. That is also I have told you. And see, there are some health benefits regarding these plantations. Firstly, these plantations of rice is utilized for the cholera patients, and the fiber content is rich in this rice. So that's why hemorrhoids के लिए भी use किया जाता है, which is also other word is piles. And It is said that the best treatment of fiber and protein content, whichever the diseases which are confined with the protein deficiency or fiber deficiency, this rice can be utilized. And it is a naturally grown rice, organically grown rice, and the GI tag is also given to this rice. The GI tag is given to the Kerala. So the Pokkali rice is from Kerala. And once let us try to understand the history as well. The Kidambi people or the Konkani Kidambi who used to speak this language, they are the ones who used to cultivate this Pokkali rice. Now let's try to understand the history of this Pokkali rice. This Pokkali rice is almost grown in the hilly areas in the initial time periods, but because of floods and but because of climate change or maybe the seed dispersal over a period, it has been now understood that the rice has been transferred to the sea level areas or the plain areas of the Western Ghats, and then slowly over natural ability the rice has got its tolerance, and now it has been grown in the boundaries or the next to the coastlines. And it is also grown in not just India, it is also grown in Bhutan, it is also grown in Sri Lanka. So these are the important aspects of Pokkali rice, and that is it for today, guys. If you do like this session, please press that like button, and a good feedback will give us to come up in the next week with a great motivation. And also the Diwali is around, so wish you a very happy Diwali, and see you on the next week on next Saturday with more topics and more relevance to the UPSC examination. And if you do think that we have added some value to your preparation, please let us know that, and also press that like button and subscribe button. Thank you, guys.